Welcome to this urgent news brief explainer. We're actually preempting our usual deep dives right now to jump straight into a rapidly developing digital situation that we are monitoring literally this very second. Let's get right into it. What we're looking at is a real-time connection status event. We're breaking down one of those fleeting digital interactions, the exact kind that happens millions of times a day across the globe. But Today, we're slowing it way down, analyzing the incoming data live, and mapping out exactly what goes down when a system actively tries to establish contact. Now, our report begins with the initial holding pattern. The very first piece of intel that came across the wire was, honestly, incredibly simple. Yet it instituted this dramatic pause right at the outset of the connection attempt. The directive was just 3 words, just a moment. Notice how that immediately sets an expectation of a delay? Before any actual content loads, before any real interaction can even begin, the system forcefully hits the brakes. It's basically asking for patience while all these invisible, highly complex back-end processes spin up in the dark. So to really understand the chronological unfolding of this event, we have to look at how this builds step by step. Remember, we're talking about a highly accelerated split-second timeline here. Step 1 was the initial request, which was fired off mere milliseconds ago. That was immediately followed by Step 2, the system pause, that just a moment directive we received just moments ago. And well, that brings us directly to Step 3, our current live status, the verification check. The system is actively interrogating the connection right now.
Okay, wait. We are getting a major update on that front right now. The status has literally just changed to verification successful. The system has officially cleared the verification hurdle. This is a massive, high-energy breakthrough in our connection timeline. We've officially moved past that initial scrutiny, and the system has effectively given the green light to the structural integrity of this incoming request.
Let's actually take a quick beat to analyze what this breakthrough means. Verification successful represents an absolutely critical security checkpoint. In our modern digital landscape, no connection is just trusted by default. This is the exact moment where the system has successfully confirmed the legitimacy of the incoming request before allowing it to proceed a single step further. Now, we aren't taking a stance on the strictness of this gatekeeping. We're simply reporting that this mandatory neutral security protocol has been successfully navigated. Bottom line, the user is verified.
Developing now, awaiting server response, also known as the OpenAI.com stalemate. Here's the exact data string we are currently seeing flash on the terminal, waiting for OpenAI.com to respond. So the crucial takeaway here is that we're now in a brand new holding pattern. The initial user verification is totally complete, but the dynamic has completely flipped. The ball is now entirely in the destination server's court. We're essentially just standing on the digital front porch of OpenAI.com, waiting for their systems to acknowledge our verified presence and send the data back to us.
Which naturally forces us to ponder the great uncertainty of this entire event. How long will the server actually take to respond? We're in a bit of a digital limbo right now, which is building some genuine suspense. In server time, a response could take a fraction of a millisecond, or, under heavy traffic loads, it could really stretch into a noticeable delay. We're actively monitoring this impending response, just waiting for that final handshake to complete the circuit.
System mandates. Required settings to continue.
Okay, hold on. We have some breaking news regarding specific, non-negotiable system demands. These are official directives coming straight from the source. To continue, you absolutely must enable JavaScript and you must enable cookies. We're treating these like urgent mandates in this live broadcast because, frankly, that's exactly what they are. Without these 2 specific browser technologies active and fully functioning, the entire connection process will be totally aborted, regardless of whether that server ever responds or not. Let's contrast the starkly different outcomes based on user compliance. Without JavaScript and cookies, the result is crystal clear. Connection halted. You simply cannot continue. It's a total dead end. But with JavaScript and cookies fully enabled, compliance is met and you are completely ready to proceed. This brilliantly illustrates why these required settings are the ultimate key to moving forward. They're literally the engines that will process the server's response once it finally arrives.
So before we wrap up this live update, let's quickly summarize the exact procedural steps currently underway to successfully navigate this digital checkpoint. It's a strict 4-step protocol. Step 1, clear verification, which we already confirmed is successful. Step 2, enable JavaScript. Step 3, enable cookies. Both of those are completely on the user to fulfill. And finally, Step 4, await response. That is the complete sequence required to bridge the gap and complete the journey to our final destination.
As we leave this connection in its final holding pattern, just waiting for OpenAI.com to return the call, I want to turn the focus back to you. This entire event really boils down to a question of digital readiness. Are your system settings configured to meet the moment? The security gates are going to open, but if your browser isn't compliant, you're not going to be able to step through. So check your settings, ensure your system is prepared, and never take those split-second connections for granted. Thank you so much for joining us for this special news brief explainer. Keep those settings updated, and we'll see you next time.